Welcome back. This is episode 18 of Be a GM series with the Minnesota Wild here on Dynasty Central Sports. Throw down a like, hit subscribe, and hit us up with a comment. Love to hear who's watching Dynasty Central Sports. So thank you for joining us in episode 18. Last episode, we had the first round of the 2022 entry draft for the NHL, and we moved up from number 9 to get Robert Backstrom, the franchise medium playmaking center. So let's jump right into our next pick. We're just going to be heading to every next pick of the 2nd through 7th rounds. We have a lot of multiple picks in the depth rounds. We don't have a second round pick, so we're just going through who got selected in the second. Not a lot of big players jump out, a lot of low-end talent. I'm not seeing a very deep draft in this one, so hopefully some of these picks turn out. So we'll just cross our fingers and see who we are going to select. These are some of the trades that happened in the draft so far. Jason Demers goes to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Normally a lot of picks goes back and forth, not a lot of players, and so we are on the clock at the 77th overall pick. We're going to take Andrei Bakhanov. He is a Russian-born right winger, 6'3", 219-pound, 20-year-old left wing shoot. He's a right winger, but shoots left. He's a little bit on the other side. He increased to 20 points over the second season at Guelph Storm of the OHL. 15 goals, 41 assists. He had 40 penalty minutes. He's a top 9 forward. He plays right now other forward, 65 overall, so not a bad overall compared to all the other picks in the second round. He has a little bit of talent still to build on. He has a wicked shot power, a strong shot, good offensive awareness at 86, solid speed 76. His shot power and his slap shot power is what I coveted. Solid accuracy still at 77 for both of them. Still got to build on those development traits, and so hopefully we'll get him into the system. And so in the third round, we're going to take Sean Komisarek. He's a goaltender, played for the US NDTP, the US National Development Team program. He was their starting goaltender. He's the son of Mike Komisarek. He's elite medium potential, 5 years ETA, which we can afford to have that. He's 47 overall, which is pretty fucking brutal, but he's got a lot to build on. He's a young kid, still 18, 6'2", 196, 83rd pick in the third round 2022 draft, hybrid style. Don't look at these development attributes right now. They're god awful, except for maybe speed, agility, durability. Those are some solid ones, but the rest are pretty really bad. 47 overall, like I said, pretty bad, but elite medium potential, which is what I like to see in these low rounds. We're going to head over to the 4th round, 9th pick in the draft. We're going to look at Pavel Filatov. He's a Russian left winger, shoots left, 6'1", 198, 19 years old. Still agility, skating, defensive consistency are pretty weak on the weaknesses. He's got 3 years ETA though, and so let's make him our 4th round pick. At the 103rd overall, 64 overall, which is not too bad. He only got 2 points in the past 2 seasons, which is not exactly sexy for a left winger that's supposed to have offensive skills. That's a sniper, but look at 74 speed, 89 balance, which is pretty good, 90 in hand, 420, 87 body check, which is 84 strength. 91 offensive awareness. God dang, he looks good, except for right now, not a lot to build on. Moving on to the 21st overall pick in the 4th round, we're going to look at Zachary Bayard, a 6'2", 219, 20-year-old left shooting defenseman. He played for the Halifax Mooseheads the past 2 seasons in the Quebec Major Junior League. He got shutdown ability, good strength, hard wrist shot. Still needs to work on some of those skills on the passing. 2 years ETA, which is pretty interesting to see. AHL top 2 defensive, high potential. 66 overall. one of our higher overall players that we've drafted in this draft. Not too bad. 84 stick checking, 82 shot blocking, 80 in speed and acceleration agility, 89 shot power, and both a wrist shot and slap shot, 89 and 88. God, looking good on that, and liking Zachary Bayard for a low round sleeper pick. And then now we're in the 5th round. We're going to look at Esa Kapanen, a 6'5", 212-pound defenseman. He's 17, so he's really young, but he's got a big frame on him. He's an elite low, got 1 goal in 6 games for the SM Liga, but mostly played in the J16 league as he just turned 17 a little bit ago. He's a defensive defenseman style. He's got a lot of potential, but still has a lot to build on. Not very good, but I like the frame. Elite low, good potential. There's now Jermaine Powell, a guy that we're going to look at. He also played on the US NDTP. He's a grinder style, which is very rare in this league. 6'2", 202 and he's 18. Still a lot of years to build on. Hopefully he has a good potential. Puck protection looks good. 5 years ETA. He's going to go off to college and play a little bit. 66 overall. Really nice to see. He's top 6 forward low. 7 goals, 9 assists last season. 58 points playing for the National Development Program. Like I said, he was a good player, came in, showed off a gritty game. 2-year player, didn't get any points the first season, but increased that to 16 the second season, and showed off that gritty side of the game. A lot of good stats. 80 in deking, hand-eye, passing, 89 in puck control, solid off shooting skills, solid in the physical. A good overall build. I like it. 77 offensive awareness. A solid player to pick up in those late rounds. They're flyers, basically, all we're taking. Nicholas Daig, a 5'9", 162-pound water bug type of center, playing for the Victorville Tigers of the QMJHL. Had 18 goals, 30 assists. And playing for the Tigers, he increased his points by 38 points over the first season as a rookie. Next season, he's a small kid, though. 5'9", 162 pounds, probably won't grow too much. He's a 62 overall, AHL top 6 forward medium. Not related to Alexander Daig, probably the number 2 worst bust in the NHL history draft. He went in first overall, but he was pretty god-awful, had no motivation. That's not like Nicholas Daig, who is unrelated. Like I said, he had 18 goals, 30 assists. So, he's a good young little skater out there, 19, so still on the medium half of development. Most likely will never make the NHL, but there's always crossing fingers. I like his discipline, 92. He's got good durability for a little kid. Wrist shot power is good, 84 slap shot power. God-awful accuracy, and he doesn't really have the speed. He's an 80 speed, agility speed is 80, and acceleration's 80. Agility speed, did I say that? Fuck's sakes. All right, let's move on to the 26th pick in the 6th round, and look at this guy, Andrew Goalie. He's a defenseman. We drafted him. He's 60 overall. I had to take him. His name's A. Goalie, but he's a defenseman, 6'2", 205 pounds. I want to see that on my roster for the duration of this series. A-Goalie, who's a defenseman. What a good name. Awesome name. What an awesome last name. He was destined to play hockey. Unfortunately, did not make it between the pipes. He had 25 points last season playing in high school in Massachusetts. Andrew Goalie, born out of Boston. He is 18 years old, shoots left. He's a 60 overall offensive defenseman. He's got pretty brutal stats. I pretty much drafted him for the name. He's got offensive awareness of 77, which is not too bad. 76 agility, 75 speed. Not a good shot, but a solid shot. Defensive-wise, he's all right. 75 in shot blocking, 72 in stick checking, also 72. Passing, 72. Maybe he could be a good player down the line, but I'm not banking on it. He's a goalie playing defense. I don't know. We'll see how he does, and we'll see how he does in the rest of these seasons going forward. For the Minnesota Wild. All right, let's recap the first round of the draft. Robert Backstrom, like I said, went first overall to the Minnesota Wild. We traded up from the 9th overall pick. We took Andrei Bachanov, Sean Komisarek in the third round, 15th and 21st overall in those drafts. Filatov and Bayard in the 4th round, 9th overall and 21st overall in that round. And then we took Esa Kapanen and Jermaine Powell in the 5th round, 7th and 9th at those picks respectively. Let's take a look at the 6th. We got Nicholas Daig and a goalie, 9 and 26th in the draft. I also kind of looked at that De La Gorgondier just because of the name, but I could not pass up a goalie. What a great name. Even though if he never fucking shows up, a goalie is definitely has to be a series, a fan favorite. And I would love to make him a star if he could, but maybe the game won't let me. All right, let's move into contracts for re-signing some of these players that we have going to free agency, some rookies that might be up for contracts or going to UFA. So let's take a look and jump into the contract bin. See, we got Robert Backstrom, the 18-year-old rookie. Of course, we're going to sign him max contract. All I can do is $950,000 for 3 seasons. Nico Sturm, we're going to offer you a contract. I like you in real life. 74 overall, 27 of age. We'll offer you a solid little contract. Marcus Leonov, maybe if Sturm doesn't sign, I'll look at you and maybe Kovanov. Jordan Greenway, definitely going to sign you. I love you on that third line. 25 years old. He's a power forward, big boy, a good just energy grinder, solid offensive player, and I love him in the sim. So let's see if he will sign for 2 years, $1.8 million. And let's offer another RFA, Connor Dewar, who has been playing in the AHL. Just a solid little contract there. Jermaine Powell, we're not going to offer you yet a contract, or Filatov, give you guys 1 season to develop in your areas of play before getting a contract. Will Bitton, I liked how you jumped up played a little bit for the NHL and AHL, so we can move you back and forth. RFA, we're gonna give Riley Piercy a contract. We drafted him last draft, and now picking him up. He's a 74, 20 years old power forward. I love his development so far. We're going to offer Bachanov a contract because he's 20 years old. Pavel Novak, UFA, 64 overall, 20 years old. We're going to offer a contract just to see if he can develop anywhere. If not, we can sweat off my ass if he doesn't do any much. What the fuck am I saying? Louis Belpedio, we're going to offer you a contract, RFA, but still on the older side. Ian Makoshin, enjoy free agency. Hopefully you can get somewhere that you're going to play better. We're just going to qualify Belpedio. Zachary Bayard, no, we're not going to offer you, but Philip Johansson, qualify you. Damon Hunt, let's offer you a 62 and 20 years old. Let's offer you a contract just because we can. See if you will sign. That's Aucoin's son, Quinn Aucoin, 60 overall, 19. He's still 18 actually. And he's elite low. A goalie, Kapanen. Let's see. Alex Stalock, will not gonna re-sign you. Capo Kakinen, I'm gonna sign you for 3 years. You're 25 years old. Hopefully you'll sign, but also in free agency, I want to pick up a goaltender to push him that could be possibly the starter, push him to be a better player, and we have a good starter and backup goaltender. Hunter Jones and Jesper Wallstad, I'm going to bring you over to the AHL. I think those two will be good in Iowa to develop. We're going to release Alex Stalock and then pick up a goaltender in free agency, see who is out there. We'll love to pick up a guy that's just a little bit better than Kaapo Kähkönen, see if he plays better. So let's advance the day to see if we get any signings. Jordan Greenway is going to sign. Nico Sturm rejects my contract, so I guess I'm going to release him to free agency, see if he signs anywhere, maybe pick him up next season. Kaapo Kähkönen will renew. Will Bitton will renew. Connor Dewar will renew. BACKSTROM will sign. Of course he will. He is my pride and joy. Riley Piercy is going to sign. Bakanov will sign. Pavel Novak, Damon Hunt will both sign. Wallstad will sign. And I'm looking forward to him developing in the AHL. Let's see. Nico Sturm. Should I offer him another contract if he's just going to reject me? 2 years. No, fuck you, Nico Sturm. You know, I gave you a contract. You didn't like it. Could have brought you up. But that's the only person left on the list to sign. Marcus Leonov. Like I said, I was going to look at you if Nico Sturm does not sign for the AHL, so we'll offer you a prospect contract and you'll sign for sure. Of course, you have nothing else to do and you're excited to come over. 5'10", 190 pounds, 19-year-old right shooting center. He's going to play in the AHL. We drafted him last season, if you remember his name. Take a look at the list of the roster so far. Nils Höglander, take a look at him. He's a guy that I'm expecting to play really well going forward next season. And then our defense definitely need a little bit boosting in this one. Jonas Brodin is definitely falling off the map. I don't understand it. So let's take a look at the free agents out there. First, defense. John Klingberg, Rowensky can't do it. Brandstrom would love to sign this guy. 22 years old, offensive defenseman, 87 overall, but he's a RFA, which means we would have to trade off some of our draft picks, which we don't really have. Can play since we just tried to trade up for BACKSTROM and could not get could not save any of our picks. So let's look at Sami Niku, a 6'1", 194-pound, 25 years old left defenseman. He scouts well on our team, all the penalty killing lines, 82 overall, top 4D. We're going to offer him 3 years. I like his development. And let's look at Lucas Johansson, a two-way defenseman, 24 years old, 6'2", 183 pounds, UFA defenseman, has not played in the NHL. He played for the Capitals last season for the Hershey Bears. And let's offer him a 2-year contract. See, brings him up to 26 years old. And he's then could expire as a UFA. As the left wing, I would love to bring in Alex OVECHKIN. Let's throw him out of contract since we do have the cap space. Most likely will not sign with us just because our season last season was not looking good. And Ovechkin's definitely one of those players that are probably chasing a cup. I don't know where he played last season. Maybe did he play for the Capitals? I don't know for sure, but we're going to offer him a contract, throw it out there, see if he will sign with us. Let's take a look at the goaltenders. We got Fleury, Merzlikins, Kemper, which is not a person that we will bring back to Minnesota, Korpisalo, Nedeljkovic, Henrik Lundqvist, 84 years old, 84 overall, 84 years old, it feels like it though. 40 years old, 84 overall, could push Kaapo Kähkönen for 2 seasons, maybe 1 season. We're going to offer him a contract, but if he does not sign, let's take a look at some of the other ones out there. Nedeljkovic, Francois, Cal Peterson, Pekka Rinne looks solid. Caden Primo looks solid, a starter medium, 82. Just a little bit over Kaapo Kähkönen. He's also 22 and a UFA. I think I'm looking at Caden Primo. He's looking good. 6'3", 200 pounds, 22 years old. Just the Montreal Canadiens don't have a spot for him since there's one spot in goaltending. So let's see if Henrik Lundqvist will sign. And if he does not, we're going to offer Caden Primo a contract. Sami Niku will sign. That's nice to see. He's a bolster to our defense. We'll probably play with Brodin on that second pairing. Henrik Lundqvist will reject it. He doesn't like the chemistry in our locker room, and more money may help, but I'm not a big fan of that. Lucas Johansson will reject, but that was because of contract duration. So let's re-offer him a better contract, do exactly what he's asking for, a little bit more money, and then let's pass over Lundqvist. I don't know. He didn't really like the chemistry in our locker room. He's 84, 40 years old. Let's offer him again, see if he will. Give him a little bit more money, but not too much. Less than $3 million for 2 years. I think that's doable for an older player. Or, you know what, let's go down to Caden Primo. I think Caden Primo would be a good goaltender to push Kaapo Kähkönen just as a safety net, just in case like Wallstad doesn't develop well. He's still young, 22 years old, starter medium, 82 overall. We can sign him for 2 years. Let's see if he will accept a contract and tell Hank to fuck off. Ovechkin, he's going to go to the Florida Panthers. Okay, good signing there. He must like that tax-free income that he is going to get in Florida. Let's take a look at some offensive opportunity players that... Oh, Jesse Pulujärvi, 24 years old, 80 overall. He's an elite low, still young. He's a UFA. Let's offer him a contract. I would love to bring him in and put him on the right side with Backstrom and Kaprizov. He's a big body, still young, 24 years old. Offer him 3 years. Love to bring him in. If he signs, that will be nice. He will be a great complement with Connor Garland on that right side, and he will sign. Jesse Pulujärvi, a former top 5 overall pick in the draft, and he is going to sign 6'4", 215, 24 years old. He shoots right, which is rare in the Wild lineup. We have very, very low right-handed shooting forward, so he's a sniper. He's a power forward build type of forward. He just needs to get a new scenario change, get out of Edmonton, get away from all that pressure playing with McDavid. And then Lucas Johansson's going to sign. He's going to sign his contract for, I believe, 3 seasons. He'll come in and be a top-line defenseman. And Caden Primo is also going to sign a contract with us. Noah Meyer, let's sign him. He's a young 19-year-old undrafted defenseman. I like his build, 5'10". He's 66 overall. Let's see if he can develop in our AHL in Iowa. And then Joachim Bleichfeld. He's a two-way forward, but he's a former 7th round pick. 6'2", 187 pounds, scores well in the AHL, which is actually where I want to put him in, Iowa, and just bring him in. Hopefully he can develop well. He's also 23, he's 76 overall, so he could possibly come up for a couple games if we need him for injury duty. I'm excited to see if he will sign, and let's sign to next season. Noah Meyer will sign with the Iowa Wild and the Minnesota Wild. Joachim Bleichfeld will also sign with the Wild. We got an offer for Kyle Okposo, no go, Dmitry Orlov, but I like this offer, a 3rd and Kyle Okposo for a 2nd, a 4th, and Elias Lindholm, a center, a playmaking two-way forward center, who will be a good center to add into our lineup. So we're going to have this start of next season for next episode. We're going to just go over preseason because that shit's boring, and we're going to pick it up at the start of our 3rd season of the Be a GM series. Smash like down below, hit subscribe, and throw us a comment. Love to hear who's watching out there and joining in Dynasty Central Sports for this series. Check out the Rams and Theo Tuggerson, Be a Pro. Join us for episode 19 of Be a GM with the Minnesota Wild, the debut of 1st overall Robert Backstrom in a Wild uniform. We'll see you later.